G'day everyone, Dan here. Welcome to North Queensland Barbecue and Brewing. Today I've got the fire going behind me and I'm going to do a couple of lamb shanks. This time I'm doing them a little bit different than braising them like I did I think in another video we did. This time these are getting roasted, so basically they'll just be the meat flavour itself, so I can let that shine a bit. But before I get that in the camp oven, what I'm going to do is I'm going to season them up and let the salt and the seasoning just absorb into the meat for about half an hour to an hour or so. So I've got the Scorching Saddle Chili Company here, Matt Anderson. His habanero smoked rock salt. So I'm going to just start with just giving it a nice bit of a layer of that. Another rub that I've got here, it's a dry rub that I got, is this garlic one from Lane's. So it's literally just a garlic seasoning. And of course we all know lamb shanks and garlic pretty much go together like peas and carrots. So that's going to be my second layer of seasoning going on there. And we bought a bit of rosemary as well. So we had that vac sealed actually, and I was interested to see how it went. It's actually held up alright. I don't think I'll be worrying about it again, but it still maintained most of its flavour. The basil didn't quite work out how we wanted it to, so don't try vac sealing basil, it just turned to shit within 2 or 3 days. So yeah, a bit of this garlic on here, and it's got some other stuff in it as well. Garlic, salt, onion, black pepper, parsley, oregano, basil and turmeric, so there you go. Obviously garlic being the main ingredient to this. I bought it originally thinking it was an SPG, sort of similar to an SPG, and it's not, it's actually a garlic based rub, so that'll be good though. That's what I want to get into these lamb shanks. And then finally just a touch of rosemary. I'll keep what I've got there as well, because I don't want all that rosemary to go into it straight away. I want to keep some of that rosemary for the vegetables. So basically I'll come back, I'll let this season for an hour, just dry season, dry brine so to speak, and we'll come back and get started on the cooking process. Alright, so I've pretty much got the camp ovens heating up, and under here, the grill part, I've got a heap of charcoal that's burnt down, and a log just on the back there just burning down to more charcoal. So I'm just going to start by just frying these off above the charcoal, just get some smoke flavour into it, and a bit of texture, a bit of caramelisation on the surface. You know, you can do it in the oven, you can put it in there and just let it roast straight away, but I've got this option, so I'm going to let it cook probably 20 to 30 minutes depending, just like this, nice and slow to start with, to get a bit of that fat dripping on the coals, that smoke coming back up and hitting the meat and absorbing into the meat to give it extra flavour. So we're not doing it in the smoker, so I still want to get some of that rustic smoke flavour into the meat. So I'll come back, I'll flip this obviously every 5 minutes or so, start to sear it off, and then it'll go in the camp oven, and we'll continue the cooking process from there, nice and slow, to break it all down. The lamb shanks probably take 4 hours I suppose. We're also going to do roast veggies in there, so yeah, we'll come back and have a look at how that's looking in about 20 to 30 minutes depending. I'm pretty happy with the colour on these now. I'll give you a quick look, just got that ready, but you can see there I've got, if you can, some fairly nice colour happening on there, a little bit of char grill. So I've got the trivet here as well. Before I put that in, I'll just put these directly in the oil, just for a couple of minutes. Just roll it around, get a little bit more caramelisation happening on that meat. And then I'll take them out, put the trivet in and put them up on that. So any fat, any oil, just any of the juices will run down. The marrow especially, when it runs out, will go into that oil. And we'll collect all that and we'll basically use that to roast our vegetables at the end. So I'm not spending much time doing that. Just a quick coating, just to coat the meat with a bit of olive oil as well, to just help it stay moist during the cooking process, because once I get the lid on, obviously, yeah, it's going to steam in there a little bit, but this is just what I'm doing. You don't have to actually char grill it first like I've done. You could just throw it in here, sear it all off like that. It's just one method of doing it. So what you'll notice too, I'll get the trivet in there, is I've got a bit of pullback happening already. So that's a good thing. I'm starting to, you can see the cooking process. Now this will just get it out of that oil, so it's not cooking directly into the oil. Like I said, all the juices will drip into there, and that will season that fat down the bottom, the olive oil I've got, season all that up for the vegetable cook later on. Alright, so I'm not going to worry about putting anything on top at the moment. I want to cook this low and slow, and the residual heat that'll come up through there should cook that fairly well, probably 3 hours or so. I don't have a thermometer here, so this is all guesswork, basically to touch. So I'll come back when they're ready to go, and then we'll get the veggies on and do the rest of this dinner. Alright, so that's probably about half an hour off kind of being ready, the lamb shanks, and then I'll wrap them in alfoil to rest them. But I've got the vegetables I need to get ready, and so we're doing, we've basically got some sweet potato, bit of carrot to start with anyway, and some potatoes. And I'm just throwing them in here to use this as a bit of a mixing bowl. I've got some onion and capsicum we're going to throw in as well. But I'll just give them a bit of a coat with some oil. And make sure they're fairly well coated so the salt or the seasoning I'm going to put on will stick nicely to that. I always like to do my vegetables like this even at home, so just coat them all nicely. Sweet potatoes probably a little thicker, but it'll work out. What I've got to put on, I usually put salt, pepper, whatever, but I got this rub here and it's called the Smoke Chamber Barbecue All-Purpose Dust Down Dry Rub. That right there. Now, looking into it, what it says, it's an Australian made rub, a couple of blokes, 100%, I know, made in Australia from at least 10% Australian ingredients, so it's still Australian made from a couple of blokes that apparently are in barbecue comp. So that's what we're going to use as a bit of a rub on this. And I've also got some chopped up rosemary here as well that I've got here to add to that, and some garlic. But this will have everything, salt, pepper. It smells real savoury, eh? Like, one of the guys at a barbecue comp actually gave this to me to try. He goes, yeah, give this a go and see what you think. So get that all coated up nicely, tossed around in that oil and that mix, and then my little bit of rosemary here as well that I chopped. Yeah, that'll stir up. And this garlic here, it's not really there to sort of give garlic flavour to the actual, well it is, I'm putting it as flavour, but it'll sit down the bottom in the oil and hopefully that flavour will distribute into the vegetables as I'm cooking them. So it'll add a bit of garlic flavour to the oil and fry them on these veggies off. The capsicum and onion, I'll put them on top, the onions on top when I put these in. They're not going to take that long, they're leftover onion rings, so that's my vegetables ready to go. So I'll come back once I've got this all ready, finished up. We'll wrap these up to rest, and I'll rest them for the time it takes to cook these. And then, yeah, we'll have dinner. Alright, so these shanks are pretty much good to go, and there's a bit of residual heat coming through this plate, so probably some of it's from the sunlight as well, but I'll get these off and wrap them up, and I'll get the vegetables in here. And just as I start filming, a car's coming. So yeah, I'll get these in here. That's how they're looking there. So you can have a good look. See, it's a boat all the way up here. But yeah, they're looking quite nice. So get them wrapped up, get them resting, and we'll get the vegetables in. I'll take the trivet out. I don't need that in there anymore. I want the vegetables to cook in the oil. So I'm not going to use this again, so that can go aside. And basically all these, they've been resting in there, so get them all nice in there so that the potatoes are all sitting in the oil. I want them to be nice and crispy. On the base, frying in the oil, as you do with most roast veggies, it's the only way to have them really. What I'll do as well, I'll just hit them with a bit more of that seasoning before I cover them up, so they're good to go. Just a touch more, just to season them up a bit, and then I'll get the onions and everything in there. There goes that. I'll have to clean that up before I put it back on. That's alright. So yeah, I'll come back when these veggies are good to go, and yeah, we'll give this a try and see how we go. So main thing is I just want to rest these for about half an hour as well, so that should take the time to cook the veggies. Alright, so that's what we're looking at now with the roast vegetables, and they might not look the best, but I tell you what, they're nice and crispy and good to go. So the chief taste tester is going to tell us what they taste like, or especially that lamb shank. So they cooked for about 3 hours all up, and we rested it, so
it's very tender.
It should have plenty of
that's beautiful.
Plenty of rest time.
Oh, it's just falling apart.
Can you describe the flavours?
I can taste rosemary and garlic.
That's from the rubs, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just lamb, and you can taste the sort of charcoal flavour. Yeah,
from when I roasted it to start with.
Yeah, you can taste that, and it's really yummy.
That's good.
It's really good. I'll try a bit of the vegetable.
That's that carrot or sweet potato?
Sweet potato. That's really yummy. It's just a nice campfire take on sort of like a roast meal. It's really yummy.
So yeah, that's how I do a lamb shank in the camp oven here. So obviously we're heading off tomorrow, so that we had to get these done tonight. But yeah, if you like what we're doing, just like and subscribe. If you want to see anything else done in the camp oven or anything done barbecue wise or cooked over wood fire or whatever, just let us know in the comments below, and I'll endeavour to do it. So
this is very good. Until
next time, guys, take care. Just as a bit of a side note at the end of that video, this is just how good that lamb shank was. Yeah, bones completely clean. It was absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend doing lamb shanks that way. I'm going to do some more videos on lamb shanks. I'll do some smoked ones as well back home. I want to muck around with them a bit more, inject them and things like that. So stay tuned. Like I said, like and subscribe, and we'll get some of those more lamb shank videos up for you to see how we can do them, because they're a fantastic Australian piece of meat, and they're just amazing low and slow. Till next time, guys, take care.